it's completely thrilling for me to be here at a university that has taken word and image study so seriously. And it's also completely thrilling to be here with this group of groundbreaking cartoonists who, in my mind, have really set the terms for comics today. Their gathering here on campus to talk about comics is, I think it's safe to say, historic.
Comics, it's sort of unoriginal sins, you know. It's
unoriginal
the act of
yes.
repetition and copying other cartoonists. Is how one
okay,
does
good.
this
We've established that.
And the you know, the fact is that ultimately it is this co-mixing of words and pictures. So of course you get doubly cursed.
If you're depicting something graphically and it has a pretense to journalism, to me the idea is to get the reader there somehow. Yeah. So landscape, what it looked like in the past, what it looks like now, all that's important. I want the reader to sort of open up the book and just immediately be there. I think that's kind of the power of the image.
My drawing kind of stayed crude. It didn't really, change all that much. And it's true that, by calling yourselves names, you do kind of disarm your critics. So I think that is probably a good defense, to keep people off of you. But that's not a major concern when I'm working either, The work comes out of a very deep place. I don't think that, I do it for effect or think necessarily about the effect it's going to have or what's going to happen afterwards very much. I don't think, that that's part of the process very much at all. But, it does work in a way, like you say, if I draw myself really ugly, people say, oh, you look so much better than I thought you would. So yeah, that's a good tactic, but that's not why I drew myself that way, or even why I draw myself that way now, but it does work. So, yeah, I use that to my advantage when I'm in a situation like this.
When you're drawing a figure, you're touching them. You're creating this person's body. You're outlining them, their face, their limbs, their clothes, and it's very intimate. And I hadn't ever thought about this until you and I were discussing it the other day, but I have my mother kind of cut me off from touch at an early age, so I wonder if, I guess I can psychoanalyze myself on stage since I'm doing it in the book, but I think maybe I'm trying to compensate in some way with this very tactile, physical medium. And I'm ultimately trying to touch the people who are reading it, or wanting them to touch me, they're holding this story about me.
So,
it's sort of pathetic.
Sometimes I'll work on something and I'll have that feeling like this is really working out, and that is I love that.
That's pretty rare. It's pretty rare.
It is. Nice. It's mostly a lot. There's so much self-doubt involved in things, but I think to make art, you have to have these two conflicting impulses.
Be very critical of yourself.
Yeah, you've got to be filled with both some sort of feeling of high confidence that balances back and forth with a sense of self-loathing. It's you have to be working on it and say, this is the best page I've ever done, and then you put it down, the next morning you come in and you say oh God.
Dear God.
It's
so what you have to understand is that you have to, self-loathing is very important if you want to.
Yes.
That's very important.
I can remember when I was in high school, I was always trying to think of a big grand idea to do a comic about, and I remember I was asleep and I woke up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden I had the greatest idea for a comic in the world. And I thought, this is it. I've been looking for it. Here it is. And I got up and I went over to my drawing board and I wrote it down and I went back to sleep with the feeling that I was destined for greatness. And I woke up the next morning and I thought, I've got to go see what I wrote. And I looked at the piece of paper and I had written, earphone 1 earphone. So there you are.
Can I use that?
I really am curious as to why you decided to use a monkey to talk about the drawing process.
Kinda look like a monkey. Also, everybody fucking loves a monkey. And especially a smoking monkey. Everybody's happy about when you see a smoking monkey, your mood, it's the biological function, actually, again. So yeah, a monkey, that's my little avatar. Yes, and it's really fun to draw. Also, you know what? I had a friend who died really suddenly, and sometimes, especially as you get older, this happens. People die, and I'm not going to. You guys for sure are. But but there was this period where I couldn't draw after she died, and the first thing that I was able to draw was a monkey. Now I'm going to get all. It was the first thing I could stand to draw, and then I thought I'm going to have to draw 100 of them, and 100 wasn't enough, and I thought I'll do 1,000. So I did. I drew 1,000 monkeys, and it got me through it. And so the monkey has this. I guess it's my transitional object. You know, my little Hulk's leg. So yeah, and then I fucking look like a monkey, which is awesome. So it works out.
You're gonna
really
look
easy to
like
draw.
a monkey when you get old. You're gonna look like a monkey when you get old. I can tell by your face you didn't come from the human race. You're gonna look like a monkey when you get old.
Yes!
Thank you very much.